In a quiet rural village in West Africa, where the sun painted the soil in golden hues and the wind carried songs of old, a young woman named Abini grew up with eyes full of questions. Why did every girl around her settle for the same destiny? Why couldn't she dream beyond cooking fires and arranged marriages? She watched as her childhood friends married early, bore children before they were ready, and settled into the rhythm of village life. But Abini was different. The fire in her chest refused to dim. At 22, she packed her meager belongings, a cloth bag with 2 dresses, a torn notebook, and her late father's photograph, and boarded a crowded bus heading to the city. Her mother wept at the terminal, clutching Abini's hands with trembling fingers, whispering prayers into her ear. "Stay safe, my daughter. Find your future." The city, when she arrived, was nothing like the stories. It was bigger, louder, and harsher. Skyscrapers towered over tin-roofed shanties. The streets never slept. Abini found lodging in a crumbling building where she shared a single room with 3 strangers. There was no privacy, no quiet, and definitely no comfort. She found work selling fried plantains at a corner stall owned by a cranky woman who barely paid her. 6 months of exhaustion passed. She woke before sunrise, returned after sunset, her hands calloused and heart weary, yet she never let go of hope. Her prayer every night was the same: let tomorrow be better. Then one day, at a roadside cafe where she sat alone sipping warm water, fate introduced her to Malik. Malik was different from the men she had met. His voice was calm, his posture confident. He wore plain clothes, but there was purpose in his stride. He approached her table to ask for a napkin, and in her nervousness, she knocked over a bottle of soda that drenched his shirt. Abini braced for anger, but Malik laughed. Maybe this is the universe's way of telling us we needed to meet. That unexpected moment turned into conversation, then into coffee, then into late-night phone calls. Within a month, they were inseparable. Malik was a fabric seller by day, handling rolls of leather and velvet at the bustling market. By night, he was an aspiring entrepreneur, building a creative agency from a borrowed laptop at a shared co-working space. He saw something in Abini. He told her she was not meant for the sidelines. He encouraged her to take a course in beauty and hair care. Abini, hesitant at first, enrolled. He helped her practice braids on a mannequin head he bought with borrowed money. Their bond deepened. They married quietly in a court registry, with only 2 friends as witnesses. Their wedding meal was a shared bowl of jollof rice under a streetlight. They moved into Malik's one-room flat with peeling paint and a leaking roof. But in each other, they saw palaces. They dreamed together, planned together, fought and forgave. And in that humble beginning, a love story began that neither of them could yet fully understand. Malik wasn't just a supportive husband, he was Abini's biggest fan. He believed in her fiercely, often more than she believed in herself. "One day," he would whisper in her ear, "you'll be the most sought-after stylist in this city." Abini juggled school, odd cleaning jobs, and freelance braiding. Her first client was their elderly neighbor who needed a wig detangled. Word spread. Slowly, a reputation grew. Malik helped her design flyers, built her a basic Instagram page, and promoted her services while selling fabric. Malik's life was double duty: market vendor by sunlight, marketing strategist by moonlight. He pitched logos to small businesses and restaurants, offered social media advice to friends. Many laughed at his big ideas, but he kept moving. Their combined income wasn't much, but it kept them going. 2 years later, Abini gave birth to their daughter, Nia. Her arrival was both a miracle and a wake-up call. With no stable income, every purchase, from diapers to baby food, was a calculation. Yet Nia brought joy like no other. Her laughter turned cold rooms warm. Abini resumed work just weeks after delivery. With Nia strapped to her back, she styled clients in their living room. Malik doubled his hustle, often skipping meals to make rent. They upgraded to a 2-room apartment, still modest, but a world away from where they began. Their evenings were filled with storytelling, laughter, and whispered dreams under flickering light bulbs. On their 10th anniversary, Malik surprised Abini with a mirror engraved, "To the woman who became her own light." By the 15th year, the winds shifted. Malik's advertising agency had hit a plateau. New, younger companies with flashy branding were taking over. His clients, once loyal, vanished. His fabric sales also dropped due to cheaper Chinese imports flooding the market. He rebranded, partnered with digital influencers, offered video content services. Nothing stuck. The business bled slowly. He didn't tell Abini the extent of the losses. Meanwhile, Abini soared. With her client base booming, she opened her own salon in a stylish part of town. She hired 3 staff members, started training programs, and even featured in a popular lifestyle blog. Malik watched with pride and shame. She was shining in spaces he once dreamed of. The financial roles reversed. Abini became the primary provider. At home, decisions were no longer shared. She chose where they lived, what Nia wore, where they vacationed. Malik complied, but deep inside, a quiet ache grew. He questioned himself. Had he failed? Had his vision been foolish? Was he now just Abini's husband? The intimacy faded. Their conversations grew practical. School fees, rent renewals, event bookings. The laughter from earlier years was now a faint echo. Malik knew something had to change. Malik suggested they migrate to Baku, Azerbaijan. He had contacts there, saw a booming economy, and believed it could be a fresh start. Abini was reluctant at first, but the thought of expanding her business internationally intrigued her. Eventually, she agreed. They sold their furniture, closed their shop temporarily, gathered documents, and said tearful goodbyes to friends and family. Malik went ahead to set things up, apartment permits and meetings. Abini and Nia would join him in a month, but weeks passed. Communication grew irregular. Then Abini sent a cold message. "I've changed my mind. I'm staying." Malik was stunned. He tried to call. She didn't answer. He texted, no reply. Days later, he received an official document. Abini had transferred all joint assets to her name. She blocked him from seeing Nia. Malik returned home, drained and defeated, only to find himself shut out. Legal papers, bank account changes, and silence greeted him. The woman he once loved had erased him from the life they built together. The court battle was long. He eventually gained partial custody of Nia and finalized the divorce, but something inside him broke, not just from Abini's betrayal, but from the way his dream was used as a stepping stone. Malik chose solitude. He stayed in the shadows, avoided familiar faces, and rebuilt, slowly. He launched a new agency focused on African diaspora businesses abroad. It was leaner, smarter, and tech-driven. With every small win, he healed. His trust in people wavered, but his belief in his vision returned. After 2 years, he moved back to Baku, this time not as a hopeful migrant, but as a business owner. He rented a stylish flat, bought a modest car, and opened his office in the heart of the city. And one sunny afternoon, as he sipped coffee near the Caspian Sea, he saw her again, Mina. Mina was radiant, not flashy, but magnetic. Blonde curly hair framed her caramel skin. Her eyes, deep, curious, and fiercely intelligent, locked with Malik's. They talked, laughed, and something clicked. She had her struggles, a tough past, betrayals, but she hadn't lost her heart. Like Malik, she was looking for something real. He courted her gently, no rush, no pressure, just presence. Weeks turned into months. Malik gifted her a pendant with her name engraved, placed inside the glove box of a brand new Picanto Optima. Alongside it, an envelope with $5,000 in it. "For your dreams," he said. Mina's eyes filled with tears, not for the gifts, but for being seen. Their love blossomed, quietly, fully. Malik invited Mina's family, her parents, her sister Massa, and her brother-in-law Oscar for dinner. The restaurant was cozy and elegant. Candles flickered, laughter danced. Then, to everyone's surprise, Malik knelt before Mina, holding a ring. Mina, you gave me back my smile. Will you share forever with me? The room erupted in applause, tears, cheers. They married aboard a small cruise boat on the Caspian Sea. The sky blushed with twilight. The breeze carried music and joy. It wasn't grand, but it was honest. Malik looked into Mina's eyes and whispered, "You were worth the wait." Malik never forgot Abini, not out of bitterness, but as a chapter of a life that taught him. He learned that loving someone should never cost you yourself, that dreams must be shared, not stolen, and that sometimes, after loss, love returns in a new form. Nia, now older, visited him often. She saw the man her father had become, not perfect, but real. And so, Malik lived, not to prove anyone wrong, but to prove to himself that starting over isn't weakness. It's the bravest kind of strength.